like and subscribe. Women who are in a long-term relationship / marriage, 8+ years, is there a decay in your sex life, partner chemistry, desire etc? How you cope with it? Married for 30 years and of course things have changed since we were young, but emo change in no way equals decay, so I have no need to cope. Sex is less frequent in our 60s and we are both fine with that. But the intimacy, trust, and sheer quality of the relationship has grown with each year and I would never want that to change. If both partners are happy with the situation, and any changes that have taken place over decades, then it's fine. If one is unhappy, you should be close enough after all this time to have a discussion and figure it out. If you are unable to even discuss it, I would see that as a huge red flag. This Been married over 20 years and things have been great. Sex comes and goes, and this past year, I have zero drive thanks to perimenopause, but we are still intimate in other ways that aren't necessarily sexual, cuddling, hugging, laughing etc, and both of us are content and happy with our life together. A million times this I've been with my husband for over 14 years now and this is exactly how I'd describe it. That's world-class advice. Trust, honesty, and loyalty counts. And in addition you can laugh on silly things, and sometimes on yourself, then you're that person for me. A person who also knows the balance between when to be serious in a discussion, and when to be aloof, and not let silly things affect you. Easier said than done though. Married 32 years, we are 51, 52 soon, and 54. There's an ebb and flow of things and of course things are difficult at times for us due to health issues, on my part. I try to fake it, until I make it. What I mean, there are times when the very last thing I want is intimacy, but I also know that is how my husband shows love. So while I may not be in the mood for sex in the beginning, I will be in the mood by the end. I love him, and I want him to be satisfied with our marriage, even when it might be inconvenient to me. My libido has dropped off substantially since I had a hysterectomy, kept my ovaries, and I'm working on getting it back. Prior to my surgery we were intimate at least 4 days of a week, and that would be hours each time. Now it takes under 20 minutes from start to finish. I miss the marathon. Perimenopause sucks. Edit, we've been doing other things together as well. We are still somewhat sheltering from COVID, so we've been working on the house, doing a lot of yard work, cooking and drinking together, spending time with our dogs, and just having fun in our little bubble. We are normally both homebodies so this doesn't bother us at all. I agree with this. I am just shy of 8 years married, and while frequently changes, currently have a 15mo and am pregnant, the sex itself is better, because we have a deeper relationship with each passing year. I've been with my husband for over 12 years and we have an amazing sex life. We are very intimate and basically always touching each other in some way. We have always had great chemistry. I will also add that we do not have children, and we decided to keep it that way. I'm not bashing anyone with children either. But I feel like that is a big reason why our relationship is as great as it is. We always have time for each other, be intimate whenever we want, we can go somewhere at the drop of a dime, I wouldn't change it for anything. Made basically the same decision. Kids are great, they are just not for us, and would definitely ruin the wonderful thing we have. We also have 12 years lol twin relationship. My husband and I have been married for nearly 15 years and we also have an amazing sex life. We have 3 children. And while there have been unavoidable phases where physical intimacy dipped, we made sure they were in fact only phases. It is priority for both of us, and it has helped, made our marriage stay a great one. And while that new attraction feeling has long faded, it has developed into much deeper physical attraction over the years. You may have to work a little harder to stay intimate, if you have kids, but it is worth it. They are only under your roof for so long, and then it is just the two of you again. Dating for 3 or 4 years and my so got a vasectomy, and I got to remove my IUD. Honestly, we've grown so much closer, now that we don't have the fear of accidentally getting pregnant. I'm much more in tune with myself, and able to feel more in the mood for sex, so our sex lives are rocketed. We got the all clear from the urologist a few weeks ago and have been having a lot of fun. It's great. I highly recommend the CF life. You're so goals. I hope to have a relationship like yours too when I'm older, as I'm also going the child-free path. In college I took a class on sociology of family and my prof showed a graph of marital happiness and the huge decline after birth of a first child, and there was a gasp in the classroom. My prof was like, make sure you wear condoms until you are ready for this LMAO. We are 10 years married, no kids, neither ever wanted them, very happy, great sex life, 45, 48 years old. No need to cope. Very much in love. There is more to a relationship than sex. I have known my husband since we were 15. We have been in a relationship since we were 19. We have been married for 36 years. We haven't had sex in 16 years. He had prostate cancer at 46 and the treatment left him impotent. He has been my best friend since I was 15 and is the father of my children. He is much more than sex. We have a great life and he is alive. You still have chemistry. The posted question also asked about that. Sex is not everything, and definitely not necessarily a relationship ending issue, as long as both parties are okay with that. The chemistry part, though. I feel like, when you lose that, there is no salvaging. Love this. I hate how nowadays everyone's like, if you don't have sex then your relationship is going to fail or something along those lines. Marriage is more than just having sex. I'm so happy for you both. DDD, that last sentence. I feel it. Cancer is a tsunami. This is so sweet. I am so glad for the both of you. I'm so incredibly happy for you and your husband that your relationship has stayed so strong. I can tell you two have an amazing bond. It's amazing being married to your best friend. I've also known my husband since we were very young and been together since high school. I know we have a bond just as you and your husband do. Your story is honestly touching. 25 years married. It ebbs and flows just like life. We had a slowdown with children, but things changed at one point, and it is better. Desire is still there. My partner often tells me how sexy I am, loves to touch me, and be close to me. He is also my best friend, vertical bar. Almost empty nesters, so looking forward to that new stage. 20 years together, 19 years married here. I wouldn't call the reduction in sexual desire a decay, so much as it is a falling away. My husband has type 2 diabetes, autoimmune disease, and liver issues, resulting in hormonal imbalances including an uptick in estrogen and a marked decline in testosterone. Of course, his libido has taken a nosedive in the past 6 years or so. The result has been far less sex, although we do supplant that with a lot of non-sexual intimacy, talking, cuddling, kissing, date nights, commuting together, etc. Sex isn't the only thing that binds us together, and it should not be the only thing that makes a relationship work. You cope by understanding that, as people age, their bodies change, and sexual needs wax or wane. Men reach their sexual peak in their late teens, women reach their sexual peak when in their 40s. Each life stage brings its own benefits and challenges, and you have to plan for the eventuality that those things will happen. The one way to head off any resentment or feelings of deprivation during those physiological changes is communication and understanding. Your partner needs to be comfortable enough with you to tell you when he/she is experiencing a loss of libido, and you need to be equally comfortable both with listening to and addressing those needs and expressing your own thoughts. And don't be afraid to mix things up a little bit. A few weeks ago, our doorbell camera alerted my husband that a package had arrived. He texted and asked me if I knew what it was. I responded, "It's mine. I ordered a few new vibrators." His response was a rather hilarious, "Oh. I was thinking about ordering you a new one, but I wasn't sure exactly what you wanted." So how is this hilarious? Well, we both know he's not as up and ready as he used to be, whereas my libido is in high gear. We have talked about this on several occasions. I hadn't told him I was looking for new sex toys, but he certainly knew that I was probably wearing out my old one. and would need one too, so he was thinking about meeting my needs in a different way. In case you're wondering, I usually use the toys solo, but there are times where my husband uses them on me because he can't get her done on his own. So I found it funny that he was pondering how to please me and surprise me, and I was thinking along that same vein. The vibrator story is super wholesome, thanks for sharing. So wholesome, I love it. Women reach their sexual peak at 40? I had never heard that. Where did you read that? So interesting. Our sex life actually deteriorated in the last 18 years because of a major porn/webcam addiction on his side that I almost knew nothing about. The progression was slow, but he increasingly disliked the intimate and touch aspect of sex and started to get unreasonably irritable around sex towards me because he rather wanted to act out his addiction than be with me. Fortunately, he has been fighting his addiction for the last 5 years and very slowly there is some progress. The therapist basically said, you need to completely relearn what sex is about and how it goes. I experienced this as well in my former LTR as well, especially with the major porn/webcam addiction on his side, as well as the decay in the intimate and touch aspect of sex, i.e. stop kissing me. The irritation and annoyance he showed, and constantly acting out his addiction by turning on my free cams or porn while ignoring my needs, was very damaging to my self-esteem. He would have sex with me without my consent, treating me more like a sex toy than a person. The relationship ended when he broke things off to pursue a cam girl, among other reasons. Almost knew nothing about. After 26 years, there's been no decay. Why? We make the effort to keep our sex life on track. It's part of how we continue to bond and connect. I still can't keep my hands off of him. Are we having less sex now? Yeah, we are in our 50s and life happens, so it's not every day anymore. And that's fine. The quality has gone up, and we are both satisfied. Couple of times a week, 2 to 4 depending on life, works well for us. I was having 2 to 3 times a week with my ex and I'm 24. It seems like a dream. In the best sense possible. 13 years, and it is definitely less consistent. There are months where we do it once or twice, and months where it is almost daily. It depends on how busy we are, how we're feeling, etc. But I have never felt that the lack of it was an issue. Been married for 22 years and some change, been together overall for 25 years. Stuff changes, as it tends to do, over a long period of time. I wouldn't say it's *decayed* necessarily, as it's just different than it was early on in the relationship. We are still in love, but it's not the OMG I am so freaking in love with you, and horny for your body right now. Over the top desire/lust of first being together for a while. Now it's more of a hey, you may have gained weight, and I got wrinkled, but I still think you're hot AF, babe. Kind of thing. Sex is still important, but it's not **s** important as it was in the very beginning either. I mean, we were 18 and 21 when we first started dating, and we were ***** over each other pretty much all the time. We hadn't relaxed into our relationship yet and we were horny AF. Eventually, we did relax into it, and we didn't feel like we had to be having sex like every single day multiple times a day. Eventually, you get older and you get a full-time job, which neither of us had when we started dating, and you just don't have the time or energy for all that jazz. But when you do have the time and the energy and the desire, it's that much sweeter, you know. The chemistry hasn't changed one bit. We still make each other laugh, even after 25 years. We still go together like Rama Lama Lama Kadinga Kadinga Dog, as the song says. Chang Chang Changati Chang Shabok. Or whatever. Lol. We are two old farts who grew up and grown old together, and we're okay with that. We get each other. We know all each other's inside jokes and we are not perfect, but we are perfect together. God, my heart hurts in my bones reading this. It is so wholesome and everything I thought I had. It is so nice to hear human males still walk this planet with sincere thoughts like yours. After my divorce, I hope I find what you and your wife have. I would not use the word decay at all. I would say that the desire and chemistry has only improved. I would say that the frequency goes up and down with life changes. Kids, schedules, and life sometimes make for less frequent sex. But there are also times we do it more frequently than we did when we first got together. I have been married 11 years and have a few kids. There are ups and downs, but my husband is way hot, so it makes it easier. I have never been so attracted to anyone, which is why I married him. Side note, he is also nice. It also helps that me makes sure I finish every time. Never had a guy try so hard in bed. He knows exactly what to do. We've been together a total of 17 years. The first bump/decline I noticed was when I had my kid 5 years ago. I changed. I was tired, my drive took a huge dive, and I just didn't want to unless the baby was sleeping. It was a rough time for us, and then being diagnosed with health issues and the medication I took that worked killed it. We are in our early 30s, my husband's drive is at an all-time high, and I just can't keep up. We've compromised to scheduling sex, and when it makes me comfortable, after I put our kid to bed. 11 year together, 3 years married, 2-year-old daughter, second baby arriving in September. I wouldn't call it a decay, but there were definitely times we had less sex. For the most part we knew the reasons for it though. Stressful times at university, work or similar stuff. Pregnancy obviously messes with hormones, and after birth it took a while before I felt ready. He was supportive through and through. In hindsight, the biggest problem was with my birth control. I took the pill for 8 years, and my sex drive slowly went away. We were both getting a bit frustrated with it, but then we were both working on our bachelor's degree and planning a wedding, so we had other things on our mind. When we decided to actually try having kids and I stopped taking BC, I went from 0 to 100 in a light week. I think it's normal for your sex life to fluctuate a bit, as long as both parties are communicating about wants, needs and expectations, it's all good. Been married 9 years. Our joints hurt more, we're much more tired all the time, and we don't have as much sex as when we were in our 20s. But boy, can I tell you that when the mood strikes, it strikes gold. My sex life overall is better in the terms of knowing how to receive and give please on both our parts. We can go for longer periods of time BC, we know each other's bodies so much better. We might have sex around once every 1 to 2 weeks, but it is much better than our 20 years sex life by Alet. I still find my husband incredibly sexy, and love seeing his grays come in. Hair is so fun and I'm glad hair is all mine. Also we have 2 kids, which change the dynamic a lot, but we always make sure to have time to ourselves, and have die nights and child-free nights. You stole words out of my mouth. This is my experience as well. You've been visited by the ghost of a very important man. Pay your respects by liking and subscribing, and he'll grant you 3 weeks of good luck.